Good evening, and welcome to Keeping It Real. Joined by I am Blake Carter, joined by Kyle Laporte and Andrew Bass. And, well, what an interesting week we've had in the WWE. You know, as you guys see right now, Money in the Bank, but we're not going to start with that. So, well, first off, how have you guys been?
I've been pretty good, man. You know, not bad. Can't complain.
Busy, but it's getting better.
Busy? Oh, I thought you said easy. I was like, what can get better than easy?
Oh, no, right?
Well, I mean...
Life's easy, bro.
Just
you know,
chill.
we're basically going to keep tonight short. I mean, we could go long. We're going to keep it short. We're going to break down Money in the Bank, what we think. We're not giving our predictions. That's for tomorrow. And basically, our first big topic, you know, something that kind of surprised a lot of people is Jerry the King Lawler being arrested for domestic violence. Him and his 27-year-old fiancée, Lauren McBride, both were arrested for domestic violence. So, you know, when you guys heard the story, what did y'all think?
I thought it honestly took me a because, I mean, we've seen Jerry the King Lawler for a while in WWE, and he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would get into that kind of trouble, really. He seems like a pretty chill dude, like, cool, funny, that kind of thing. And to see this happen absolutely shocked me, and it really like, makes WWE look bad, in my opinion. It's insane to see this happen. It sucks, but, I mean, it is what it is. It's awful, though.
Yeah, especially when it's, you know, Jerry the King Lawler. I mean, this is the voice of WWE. I mean, when you really look back on it for the past, you know, few decades, it's, you know, the two voices that everybody recognizes, even if they're not with the show anymore, is Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross, both of which, you know, I mean, you got Jim Ross, who is not with the company anymore, and you have Jerry the King Lawler, who's in trouble and may not be with the company anymore after this. So, I mean, it's really alarming to see, like, the two voices of WWE out of the picture.
Right. So this is the report from the arrest. It says that when police arrived, McBride told officers that she and Lawler, who is said to have lived with each other for 5 years, got into an argument that turned violent. McBride alleged that Lawler held her against the kitchen counter and then hit her on the left side of her head and pushed her against the stove. According to reports, or the affidavit, she alleged that Lawler went upstairs and retrieved an unloaded pistol that he put on the kitchen counter and told her to go ahead and kill herself. Lawler told police that he and McBride argued over her lying about where she's been. He told officers that the argument turned violent when McBride alleged he scratched him on his face, threw a candle at him, and even kicked him in the groin. He said that McBride was intoxicated and alleged that she was the one who brought the pistol in the kitchen after getting it out of his garage, which led them to the both of them being arrested. So I can get where the cops are coming from, but you know, we don't know what's real or what's not real. So his ex-wife, actually, Kay McPherson, commented, said Jerry never laid a hand on me while we were married. This is not his character. Preventing someone by restraint from driving drunk is not abuse. I understand your policy, as does Jerry. He stepped in when he shouldn't have. So that's something new. We didn't know that apparently she was trying to drive while drunk. Jim Ross also reacted to this, saying, shocked to hear that my friend Jerry the King Lawler arrested in Memphis late Thursday night on a domestic battery charge. King's fiancée was also jailed on the same charge. Allegedly, alcohol was contributed factor in the matter that resulted in Jerry being suspended indefinitely from WWE, and WWE has zero tolerance for the policy for domestic violence issues. For the record, Jerry doesn't drink whatsoever, nor have I ever seen him act aggressively toward any female, or anyone else for that matter. I have not spoken to Jerry recently, and hope that this unfortunate matter can be resolved be resolved quickly. This is all from WrestlingNewsSource.com. And the last one is Wrestling News Co. I want to believe. It's about 90% sure. Jerry the King Lawler also commented, I guess he, got out on bail, says, when she drinks, we get into little bit of a shouting match, and then she wants to leave. I wasn't gonna let her leave in the car because she wasn't in any condition to drive. Then she got more upset. That's all he said about it. So after what you just heard, what's right from wrong? Who's telling the truth?
Honestly, I really don't know. It could really be either way because, like you said, we don't know the exact truth. So it's kind of hard to believe because it could be either. I mean, although we did hear from like Jr. and Jerry Lawler's like ex-wife saying that he's never really been violent. I mean, I really want to be on Jerry Lawler's side here because I mean, just what we heard there and that kind of thing. I mean, but the biggest problem with this is even if it was like 100% his wife or I'm sorry, fiance's fault, it still falls on him. And I don't know if WWE will want to keep him after this. So that's the thing I'm really worried about. Like I don't know if I could see them just like okay, it's fine, it's whatever. We just can roll with it when like this kind of thing got let out because it really like makes it bad for how he looks to WWE, the whole universe and everything.
Right. What do you think, Andrew?
Well, in terms of the company reacting to it, I mean, the WWE has a record of blacklisting people for less. I mean, Hulk Hogan with the racial slurs, China with, what was going on with her, her activities outside of the WWE when she left. The only thing that you really see superstars come back from, and even still, like with the interfering with the wellness policy, they tend to be a little bit lenient when it comes to that. But everything else, it's almost as if they want to throw the book at the superstars. In terms of looking at whose side to believe, I mean, like you said, Kyle, I mean, a lot of the facts point towards Jerry Lawler's innocence. But at the same time, I mean, what had to transpire in order to get him to get her to stop? Maybe he was a little aggressive when it comes to trying to make sure that she's safe and not getting out and getting into an accident while she's drunk. So I mean, you could look at it from both sides of the coin. I mean, he could have been trying to help her, like he was saying, but at the same time, did it get too aggressive because of the fact that she was scratching or hitting? Because I mean, you put yourself in your shoes. What happens when you have a drunk friend that you don't want them to drive and they might get a little bit angry with you? Sure, you might lose your cool. It happens. We're human. We're all human. But in terms of the law, you got to be careful about what's going on here. I mean, did he get a little bit too aggressive, or was he was just doing everything in self-defense? And that's for the law to decide.
Yeah, there's really no telling. I don't know which side to believe in. He just because everyone's saying that he's never shown aggression toward a female doesn't mean he won't do it. I it's hard to judge. I mean, I look at the mugshot, I don't see any scratches. But then again, it's a mugshot. I'm not right into his face. If it's because he was trying to prevent her from driving because she's drunk, then it's kind of like, okay. But then again, there's a gun in play now. So, I don't find any fault in officers arresting both of them because both totally different stories. Why wouldn't you? So, we recently just saw Adam Rose go through domestic violence stuff, and he was released. But then again, he was already suspended for the wellness policy. So there's no telling what will happen. If you ask me, I think we could see Jerry the King Lawler being released. I mean, that's just I don't think they're gonna allow Jerry the King Lawler to stay there, especially with like the recent years of all the domestic violence and pro sports and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I highly doubt they're gonna stay. So,
I mean, that's a big blow for the company if that's what they decide to do, because he has been there for a very long time, and like, where do you go from there? Who do you step up to replace him at this point?
yeah, I mean, if you need a heel commentator, Corey Graves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just the way they have to go. But I was really upset to see this story because he's been going through a lot the past couple of years, having a heart attack on Monday Night Raw, and then having a lot of medical issues. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, especially tomorrow, because we won't see him tomorrow. So we'll see what's going on. But I think that's enough on that. We really touched everything that we could. Let's move to Money in the Bank. So, Money in the Bank's tomorrow. Be sure to tune in at 6:30 Eastern for the pre-show or a prediction show, and then immediately following Money in the Bank, we'll be live with our thoughts on Money in the Bank. So, Kyle, I know you have a lot of negative thoughts towards Money in the Bank, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually really looking forward to Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I mean, Money in the Bank in general as a pay per view, I always love it. It's always a great pay per view, right? But this one, it's really like I look at the entire card, even the updated card, like from now. It's that there's really only four matches I'm looking forward to seeing: John Cena versus AJ Styles, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Title match, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, and Money in the Bank ladder match. In my opinion, every other match on the card is really it's not going to be good. It's going to be a sleeper. I can basically like sleep through the entire pay per view until like the four matches that I think are going to be like the only ones that really matter, in my opinion, and I'd be fine. I wouldn't miss anything because I mean, the U.S. title picture. Okay, people can say it's good. In my opinion, I don't like it at all. Titus O'Neil, he's pretty good, but I don't like this feud on Raw. Yes, it was good seeing Rusev come out and do that, but in general, I haven't liked the feud. We're seeing Baron Corbin against Dolph Ziggler again for no reason at all. They didn't even like have a feud. Like it ended basically, and then they're just doing it again for no reason. We're just seeing a bunch of matches that, in my opinion, are going to be boring. You could sleep through them, and there's like no. It's basically just like fillers on the card for like the four, like I said, in my opinion, important matches. That's how I could be wrong about it, but yeah, that's just my opinion. Like these are pretty much almost only okay, maybe not all of them, but most of the matches on the card, except the four that I named, are really just like fillers to basically like, okay, well, we have these great matches as like the main events kind of thing, so we need to put some other matches in there, just like whatever. Like I said, we have Golden Truth against Breezango. We have all these stupid matches that are like little feuds or just mean nothing that are going to be stupid to see in my opinion. Like I don't know, I'm looking forward to the pay per view in general, but I'm just not happy with most of the card.
So for everyone wondering what the card is, there's two kickoff shows or two kickoff matches. The Dudley Boys versus Lucha Dragons is one of them. The other one, Breezango, which is Tyler Breeze and Fandango or Fandango, versus the Golden Truth, Goldust, and R-Truth. Then the card gets started, and this is not in the order they will be doing everything. I'm sure we'll see the Money in the Bank match first. Is Sheamus versus Apollo Crews, which is understandable. They've been having a feud for the past couple of weeks. Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. Like, Kyle said, we don't need to see that again. Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Natalya and Becky Lynch, which I actually want to say something about. John Cena versus AJ Styles. Rusev versus Titus O'Neil for the United States Championship. The Fatal 4-Way Tag Team between the New Day versus The Club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Then the Vaudevillains, and then versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass. Money in the Bank ladder match would be Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, and Alberto Del Rio. And then obviously the WWE World Heavyweight Championship being Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. There's two things I want to get off my chest before Andrew goes on. So I read an article. Wrestling Observer says Sunday, be sure to tune into the women's tag team match because apparently there's going to be a surprise. Once again, the Wrestling Observer has been proved to be wrong in multiple cases. Also, there's a rumor going around that we're going to see a sixth or seventh participant in the Money in the Bank match. That's going to be a surprise. That's from the Inquisitor. So, Andrew, what are your thoughts on Money in the Bank? Are you excited? Do you think it's going to be a great pay-per-view or what?
Okay, so I'm very excited for this pay-per-view. I'm a complete opposite of Kyle. Kyle, you see a lot of matches that are kind of like throwaway matches, and I feel like there's a reason behind it. What month is this pay-per-view in?
June.
It's in June.
Yeah.
When is the show? When are SmackDown and Raw rumored to do the brand split?
July.
Yeah, mid-July, right before, probably leading up to the first split pay-per-view. My thoughts on it is I think that what they're doing is they're kind of setting the stage. And what I mean for that is you're going to see a lot of these matches happening in order to kind of get the company through until the brand split or set up something for the brand split. Like you look at the Breezango and Golden Truth. These are two teams you probably would have never guessed would have came together. But we need new tag teams when it comes to the brand split. So what they're trying to do with the kickoff show is really showcase what Tyler Breeze and Fandango can do Same thing with Golden Truth in order to kind of promote them for the later shows. And when it comes to the Money in the Bank match and the Diva, or not, sorry, still getting used to that, the Superstars match with the women's division, you have the possibility of, or even the AJ Styles versus John Cena match, you have the possibility of new people coming in and delivering that shock factor. Money in the Bank can make things so tricky because a champion could be crowned twice, and we could see Seth Rollins win the title, and we could see Dean Ambrose win Money in the Bank and cash in on Seth Rollins. Do I think that's what's going to happen? No. But you have that unpredictability, and that unpredictability can lead into the brand split. You could have somebody cash in the Money in the Bank, say Dean Ambrose or Kevin Owens, and something happen where the title is being disputed over to who the true champion is. You could see a double pin. You could see something out of the ordinary, which would set up that idea or the need for that brand split to explain it in a writing sense. So when it comes to Money in the Bank, I feel like you're going to see a lot of matches that are, they're throwaway matches. Rusev versus Titus O'Neil, we pretty much know who's going to win that match. But at the same time, you're going to be seeing that possibility for new feuds to happen or surprise returns, which could set up the excitement for the brand split.
See, that's where I'm going to have to disagree. I think the Golden Truth is an awful tag team. They should not be a thing. If you want more tag teams, you call up NXT tag teams. There's plenty of tag teams that are down there that are ready to go. I think as of right now, the problem, the tag team division is awful. But the reason why is because look at your tag teams. Lucha Underground, awful. The Shining Star, awful. I mean, like Kyle said on Twitter, they're basically just promoting Puerto Rico more than they are wrestling.
Right.
They had one match.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of getting teams ready for the brand split, you're going to need the throwaway teams. You're just going to need it. And those are two throwaway teams you're going to have.
You might have one or two, but you don't need 5 or 6 like there is right now. That's just the God honest truth. There's like 5 or 6. I mean, you can throw in the Dudley Boys are one of them. The Usos are kind of one of them. I mean, as of right now, there's 4 tag teams that mean something, and they're in the title match. Every other tag team's a throwaway. You either need to push a tag team, or you need to get rid of them. I don't understand why the Golden Truth's a thing. You know, R-Truth's been there forever, so is Goldust. I think Goldust and R-Truth just need to move along, do backstage stuff instead of, now we have to see this pre-show match. The only person in that out of that pre-show match that deserve anything is Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze, oh my goodness, is phenomenal, but he's just not being pushed and he's not being put in the right situations to succeed. So we have to deal with that. I still think Tyler Breeze has one of the best entrances in WWE. But, we have to...
I wouldn't count out Fandango either, because Fandango
he's already done.
He's a good performer, but the problem is that you keep giving him a push, and people are not responding to it. And that's sort of been the nail in his coffin.
He had his chance, and I think it's over now. But I do not agree that they're just getting ready for the brand split. I don't think that's it at all. It's just they don't have any tag teams. They don't. I mean, it just shows you how bad their booking is right now. I mean, we're seeing Apollo Crews versus Sheamus in this pay-per-view. We're also seeing Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin once again. That's stuff you should put in a pre-show. But yet we're getting something worse than the pre-show with what this kickoff show is. It's awful. The only reason I am excited for this pay-per-view is for the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team, the Money in the Bank match, and John Cena. Well, let me rephrase that. It's 4 matches. Fatal 4-Way Tag Team, Money in the Bank, Cena versus Styles, and then the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I'm actually excited to see Seth Rollins back in the ring.
Exactly. That was my exact point. That, like, I mean, in my opinion, this entire card is a sleeper except those 4 matches, and I hate that so much. But I mean, it is what it is. It just sucks. Like I said, like you can look at the entire card. You can look it up online. You heard us say it before. It said pretty much every single match is a sleeper. You don't have to watch it all. It's not going to be good matches. It's going to be whatever. You can basically guess who's going to win. It doesn't even matter who's going to win. Like, who cares between Breezango and Golden Truth? Nobody cares. Baron Corbin against Dolph Ziggler. Who the hell cares? Like, Rusev and Title 7, you know Rusev's going to win. It's like every Dudley is against Lucha Dragons. Who the hell cares? Like, you could literally not like watch the entire like all those matches and only watch the 4 matches that me and Blake brought up, and it'd be fun.
Here's what's sad. Out of there's 5 matches that belong in this pay-per-view. Every other match is Superstars worthy. On Superstars. Those or the other matches are worth being on Superstars. Now, if there is a surprise for the women's match, then yeah, it deserves to be on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But if there's not, it's a Superstars match. It does not need to be on this pay-per-view. Pay-per-view is supposed to be something that you're looking forward to. It's just like, oh my goodness, you get to see this feud. I mean, we just saw NXT The End.
Mm-hmm.
5 matches, every single match was outstanding. Every match was outstanding. But now we turn around to the main roster and we're getting this? You know, I said it last week. It might be because I'm finally being brainwashed. I'm starting to get to the point where I understand that that Raws just aren't going to be as good as I expect. I mean, last week's Raw wasn't bad. You know, I do think, and this is from the Best There Is podcast, and I totally agree with Justin Bailey, who's their host. I think people have too much of high expectations for Monday Night Raw now. I do think that. And I kind of agree. You know, yeah, we got those amazing Raws, but last week's Raw really wasn't that bad. We saw great promos done by Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, including Dean Ambrose, and we also got another great promo from John Cena and AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's basically what the Go Home show is for, is the finishing promos.
Right.
Now, I still don't think that we should be getting main events like we're getting on Monday Night Raw, of just basically a sleeper with Cesaro being their in-ring announcer, Alberto Del Rio ringing the bell, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at ringside commentating. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. That was, I mean, I kind of get it because they want to include all the Money in the Bank guys, like we've seen every single week on Raw and SmackDown of non-stop singles matches, tag team matches, all the same stuff. But I mean, it was ridiculous.
Well, the good news is that we are getting more writers from the WWE. I've seen reports that they are hiring new writers. I mean, they have to. I mean, if you're doing the whole brand split thing, they're going to need more writers, and that's the thing. They need the fresh new blood in their system there. They need to be able to come up with something better than that. You know, we can't have that going on because it's not entertaining.
Well, here's the problem. When it doesn't matter what a writer comes up with, at the end of the day, it's Vince McMahon who has to give the okay. So, as long as Vince McMahon gives the okays like he has been, we're going to keep seeing the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The big question is who's gonna be the yes or no guy for SmackDown. As of right now, we have no idea who's running SmackDown.
If you want my personal opinion, they should really draw from Triple H. I know he's busy with NXT, but I mean, give him the opportunity. Give him the opportunity on the main roster like he did with NXT. You saw what he did with NXT.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Like,
He's basically
just running that show, and so he's probably not going to want to like end up having to do NXT and then SmackDown also. I mean, it'd be great for him to do that. I just don't think it'll happen because, like you said, he's literally running NXT. He's doing everything for it, and he already is busy with that. I don't know what we could see. We definitely need to see like better writers and a better yes or no guy.
I think that's one of our biggest problems.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, when you have somebody like Triple H who is showing off what his guys can do, and it's better than the content being provided by, his father-in-law. I mean, you really start to look at it and be like, well, when it comes to the older generation, Vince McMahon was a genius. I mean,
Hmm.
you look at the Attitude Era and all that stuff, and back in the day, the product was really good. But just like the Attitude Era, things had to change. Before it was all the colorful people and the superhero like aspect where there was some bad guys that were dressed up in ridiculous costumes and only Hulk Hogan could come in and save the day. Like that was what we needed in the 80s and the early 90s. Once we got into the mid 90s and you know the late 90s and the early 2000s, we saw that idea of the Attitude Era come out and how people wanted more edgy content. And that's what made WCW such a popular product. It was a more adult product. And then we moved to the PG era and it's not really sticking. So I mean you have this idea where you need to change with the times and give the people what they want. And you see somebody like Triple H come in and he's doing what the fans want, and you're seeing how successful they can be. And in my opinion, if I'm running a business and I'm seeing that going on, you know that that's what you should be doing. It's a no-brainer. You should be doing what they are doing when it comes to running the show and pleasing the fans, because these are the fans that are um, giving feedback to the company and keeping it going for as long as it has been. The loyal fan base, which is huge.
Right. You know, I don't know. We could possibly see a surprise entrant for the Money in the Bank match. We could also see oh a so we supposedly we're getting a surprise for the women's match. So here's the question, and we can give a sneak peek on what we think. Who's going to be surprised? Who's going to be surprised for the women's match?
I'm going to go with Bailey. I would love to see Bailey on the main roster. You don't have to have her fully on the main roster just yet, but a nice little surprise entrant could show the WWE and the officials what she would be like on the main roster, what kind of response she would get. Obviously, it's going to be a very positive one. Whenever I look at Bailey, I see her as the next John Cena, but as a woman. She's the woman John Cena, the one that everybody loves. So you have the idea where you could throw Bailey in there, see how she would do on the main roster, have her finish up her feud or any feuds in NXT, and then bring her in time for SummerSlam, or even now.
Right. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Andrew and see that that's a possibility to happen. And I mean, as much as I want to say that they will most likely wait on this, I think we could see Sasha Banks. I think that's a possibility. She's been really, we have not seen her in a while. I mean, yeah, she's been at live events that I've seen online, like she's been doing that kind of thing, but I don't think we've seen her like on TV in a long time, right? I think this could be the time where because I mean, right now, like we don't really, there's nobody that's going after the women's championship right now. There's nobody. Yes, we have this tag team match, but I mean, I don't foresee Becky Lynch or Natalia going after it after Money in the Bank, and we need somebody to do that. So who could that be? It could be Sasha Banks. I definitely think that's a high possibility. Yes, it's supposed to be where like they go up against each other at SummerSlam, but I mean, I think Sasha Banks is the most logical person in my opinion. Yes, Bailey is a high chance, but I mean, I think Sasha is definitely like the big one up there. I do want to say, as much as like I would want to see that though, I mean, realistically, Paige deserves it. Like, if we're going by logic, she's pinned Charlotte twice. Where is her shot? Like, I don't
Mm.
understand where that's at. Like, I hate that they do like this whenever they want logic of like, okay, if the champion gets pinned, okay, maybe they'll get a title shot, maybe they won't. It depends if they want to do it. I mean, I would like to see Paige get a shot, but yeah, I definitely think that we're gonna end up seeing Sasha like come out of nowhere and lay out Charlotte, or at least like eye her down kind of thing. Say she wants to go for the title, that kind of thing.
I think it's more of a possibility of Sasha than it is anyone else. 100%.
Right. I think
Uh,
Bailey's still gonna be in NXT for a little while. Like she might go after Oz. She'll probably go after Asuka for now, right?
yeah, but so there's another rumor that we could see Finn Balor interfering in the John Cena and AJ Styles match. Don't forget, AJ Styles signed a contract saying that it was just going to be him versus Styles or him versus Cena, and the club cannot get him involved. So we could potentially see Finn Balor interfere, because it says nothing about Finn Balor. But that
Mhm.
would also mean we would have to see Finn Balor do double duty.
Right.
But he only has, what, one more match, maybe promos to do? That's it? I
Oh
mean,
yeah, he's done after Shinsuke, 100%.
so what do you guys think? Do we see Finn Balor?
I think I want to. I mean, it's definitely a strong possibility if he does. What they need to do is have him come out and help AJ, and then join the blood. Because if he comes out and screws AJ, then that like the I think they want to keep going with the Cena Styles feud, so that would like kill it, and that'd be a stupid idea to completely kill the and have Balor and Styles basically fighting for who owns the Bullet Club. I think if they do that, they have Finn Balor join the Bullet Club, and you have a four-man faction like Evolution, where Balor can get the IC or US title, Styles can go for the WWE title again, and then you have Gallows and Anderson go for the tag team titles. That would be the best possible situation. Will we see it happen at Money in the Bank? I'm not because we've been like people have been. It's been rumored that he was going to come for a while. Like as soon as he lost at the end, we thought, okay, he's coming 100%. Like basically next time on Raw. But I think it's definitely a strong possibility that we see him at Money in the Bank. Will it happen? I don't know. I mean, there's rumor of a lot of surprises happening at Money in the Bank. I don't know how many they want to do because, like you said, yeah, go Andrew.
If Finn Balor does come up and does turn heel, that could help with his Nakamura feud. And I know Blake, you said that you think that he should stay face for that feud, but if he does go heel, I think that it would help with the Nakamura feud to kind of make it more realistic and more acceptable. But here's the thing: you're saying that you think he might win the Intercontinental or title, or maybe
No,
the U.S. title.
no.
But here's the biggest thing.
What he's saying is, if they do go in for this four-man faction, basically have him be the Randy Orton.
Right, right. But here's the thing about it, and like I don't think that would happen just yet. And the reason for it is we have two heel champions right now, and there is no way they would put two heels together. So I mean, you
What do you
have
mean
the
we have two
idea.
heel champions?
We have the Miz, who is Intercontinental Champion. We have Rusev, who is a heel. He's United
They've done
States
it before
champion.
though. They've had a heel faction dominate the entire belt. Evolution
Well, no,
had
no, no,
every
no, no, no,
belt.
no. I'm talking about you wouldn't see a heel feud against another heel.
Well, I mean, this is also in the future. We probably wouldn't see it right away.
Oh no, absolutely not. Like I'm talking about, like this is something that won't happen right away. This is something that's not going to happen maybe for like another 4 to 5 months, if at best, and that's if the Miz or Rusev loses within the next 2 months. And from what it looks like, the Miz isn't defending his title anytime soon. So
It'll be Battleground or whatever the next pay-per-view is. Which is also another interesting question with the whole brand split happening. Are they going to do Battleground before or after the brand split? I think if they're smart, they do it after. And I think the following Monday, which I want to say is July 11th, let me be sure. 100% July 11th, yes. So basically have Battleground or whatever it is, July 10th. Then have the draft July 11th. And then July 19th is the beginning of Live Raw. Or Live SmackDown.
right.
I think that would be smartest, but if they do that, that only gives them that gives them 3 weeks of storytelling for the next pay-per-view, which is also, you have to look at it this way. The first week's most likely going to be like them finishing off the feud and giving their final words. Then the next week is the beginning of a new story, and then so on and so forth.
Right.
So if they do that, it's going to be interesting. So what do you guys think? Do we see Battleground before or after the draft? Wait, before you go, I can tell you this. I think after Money in the Bank, we're about to see SmackDown being pushed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely.
So what were you going to say, Kyle?
No, I was just gonna say that I think we definitely see Battleground coming after the Brett.
All right, we can't hear you. You're robotic right now.
Oh, sorry.
All right. See if his internet can fix up. Andrew, what were you going to say?
I would say do it after. but you got to make sure you have enough time to tell a story. You don't want to have another pay-per-view like we have now where there's a few throwaway matches on the card.
Well,
If they're going to do it, they need to do it right. 3 weeks should be plenty of time to get a good feud together for one side, unless they're going to do both brands on Battleground, I mean, it all depends on how they're going to structure it. Is it going to be a Raw pay-per-view? Is it going to be SmackDown pay-per-view? Is it going to be both?
I also think they should do it before, because if they do it after, that doesn't give a lot of time for SummerSlam.
Well, what would SummerSlam be, the 4th week?
SummerSlam is going to be the 2nd or 3rd week of August. And if they do it after,
you're not giving them enough time. Then it has to be before then.
Especially SummerSlam basically being the 2nd biggest pay-per-view. You got to give them a good while to build up that a story. So Kyle, what were you gonna say? See if your internet's gonna be nice.
Yeah, am I better now?
No, let's
a little
see.
bit better.
Let's see.
A little bit more legible.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna 100% agree with you guys. Of they need to do it basically before, because like you said, SummerSlam is one of the I would say the 2nd biggest pay-per-view of the year kind of thing, and that's obviously going to be a blockbuster, so they need as much time to build it to be the best pay-per-view possible.
Right. Well, I don't know. I'm excited for this pay-per-view for Money in the Bank, but then again, I look at all the the rest of the card, and I'm not. If you want my honest opinion, I could go on without seeing 3 of the matches that are in there on the actual card, not pre-show. I mean, I could see 3. I could care less about 3 matches, and then the other 4 or 5 is okay, this is doable. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on Money in the Bank. I mean, we'll give our predictions tomorrow once again at 6:30. So I don't know. Is there any other things you guys want to talk about?
I'm good.
Kyle?
It was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Mr. Roboto's back.
Kyle. Okay, so I'm going to assume we can't because you're Mr. Roboto. So, until next time, be sure to hit that like button. That way you never miss a show. We go live every Monday with the Monday Night Raw review. Wednesdays is an end game. Thursday's next big thing. Saturday is, of course, keeping it real. And then obviously occasionally every Sundays when WWE live events happen, we'll go live. So this Sunday, tomorrow, we'll be going live with Money in the Bank prediction show. We'll also be going live right after. Also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Twitter.com/@Realest Podcast, and Facebook, just search The Realest Podcast. We'll be getting a new logo pretty soon. Can't wait for that. And you know what? Until next time, peace out, guys.